Today on the newscast, Israel says a missile launched from Yemen was just intercepted over the Red Sea. Get all the breaking details next. Hey folks, welcome to the Watchman newscast. We've got some breaking news for you today. Israel's defense system, the Iron Dome, was reportedly activated a short time ago, and it intercepted a missile that was launched from Yemen towards Israeli cities. Now we'll get into the larger ramifications of this in a minute. But real quick, here's what we know so far. Number 1, according to the Israel Defense Forces, a single missile was fired from Yemen at around 1:30 p.m. Israel time on Sunday, September 3rd. Now that would be about 6:30 a.m. Eastern time on Sunday. That missile apparently flew over the Red Sea and was intercepted before it could do any damage in or to Israel. No word yet on who launched the missile, but clearly it was launched from Yemen. And again, it was an apparent surprise to Israeli authorities. They did not see this coming. They were not expecting a missile to be launched from Yemen in their direction. Now, a few things to note here. Number 1, Yemen has been a hotbed of activity, as we've reported many times here on the newscast over the past few months. It is a proxy war, a sort of secondary front in the war in and between Israel and Hamas, so to speak, because much of Yemen is controlled by Iran-backed Houthi rebels. The Houthis have been launching drones and missiles almost daily against Saudi Arabia, where the southern border of Israel is right across the Red Sea. Many times those missiles and attack drones have been smuggled into Yemen via Iran. They come from Iranian soil. They transit through Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon into the hands of the Houthis in Yemen. So this missile today that was launched, folks, very likely fits that same MO. It was probably smuggled into Yemen via Iran and then launched from there. Secondly, why now? Why now launch this missile? Well, number 1, you have the continued fighting, of course, between Israel and Hamas going on. And secondly, you have the situation in the Sinai Peninsula. Remember, that's another area where Iran and its proxies are trying to establish a beachhead. Over the past few weeks, we've had several attacks there in the Sinai against Egyptian soldiers and policemen. We reported here on the newscast last week 2 big attacks. One of them claimed by ISIS. So the Iranians and their various jihadist allies are trying to establish a foothold in the Sinai to open up another front against Israel. And remember, the Sinai is very close to Israel's major resort city of Sharm el-Sheikh. And if you can imagine, I'm sure people can in the Middle East. If the Iranians can establish a beachhead there and launch attacks from the Sinai into Israel proper, that could really wreak havoc with the Israeli economy, especially the tourism industry. Think of places like Orlando, Florida, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, places that draw tourists from all over the world. If attacks could be launched from the Sinai into southern Israel, that could really hurt the Israeli economy and potentially harm thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Israelis who work in those industries. So again, that may be part of the reason for this new front that the Iranians are trying to open up in the Sinai. Secondly, Yemen. As I mentioned a minute ago, Yemen has really been a hotbed of activity over the past few months. In addition to those attacks against Saudi Arabia, you've had continued fighting there between the internationally recognized government of Yemen and the Iran-backed Houthi rebels. So that could also be part of the equation. The Iranians saying, hey, we're already fighting a war in Yemen. We might as well throw a few more missiles into the mix and see what happens. And then thirdly, folks, I think this shows the desperation of the Iranian regime. They're being pushed on all fronts. They suffered a major blow this past week with the death of Qasem Soleimani, a top Islamic Revolutionary Guards Corps officer. He was killed in a drone strike in northern Iraq last Monday. We broke that down here on the newscast earlier this week. So the Iranians are on the run right now. They're feeling very vulnerable and desperate. And I believe this missile launched from Yemen is a sign of that desperation. They don't really expect this to hit any kind of major target inside of Israel. But hey, they're throwing everything at the wall to see what's going to stick. And they're hoping something will eventually connect and cause major damage inside of Israel. We, LL, continue to keep a very close eye on this developing story and bring you the latest updates. In the meantime, if you have not subscribed to the Watchman News channel, hey, we're coming to you every day, Monday through Friday, and sometimes on the weekends, depending on the news cycle. We coming to you because we want to keep you in the loop on what is really happening in the world, this most volatile and chaotic region, the Middle East and beyond, and why it matters to you no matter where you live. So be sure to subscribe so you get alerts every time a new video is posted. Thanks for joining us here today on the Watchman Newscast. Until next time, God bless you, and remember, never hold your peace. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the newscast. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an upload. Tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. And don't forget to share your thoughts, insights, and comments below. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.